I gotta hand it to you kids, finding that missing armored car after all these years. But who are these two?
Don't you recognize them, Sheriff?
Why, it's Zeb and Zeke.
They were the ones that hijacked the armored car and sunk it in the swamp.
Then they waited all this time till it was safe to look for it, but couldn't.
This ghost really doesn't need any introduction. As soon as we clean him up, I'm sure you'll recognize him. There. Look familiar?
Uncle Stewart!
Like in person. He thought he could scare you into giving up the family fortune.
That ghostly wailing was only a recording, and by a clever use of makeup, he made himself look old. When I came downstairs to investigate a noise, I saw Uncle Stewart's wig blow off. I knew he wasn't old.
So he had to take you prisoner.
Just as we thought.
It's the curator, Mr. Wickles.
We've got to hand it to you kids. We never would have suspected Wickles as the art swindler.
Boy, it was a neat setup. He and his gang were switching their fake pieces of art for the real ones in the museum.
And they made the fakes at night in a secret workshop behind the mummy case.
Now let's see who's really behind these bandages.
Dr. Najib!
So it was apparent that Dr. Najib knew the secret of the coin. And after you kids left, he broke in hoping to steal it.
Hey, look at this snapshot. Here's a clue to end all clues. Take a look at our ape man.
It's Carl, the stuntman!
We spotted your beached boat and decided to investigate. But who is that?
This is the end of the mystery.
Well, well, if it isn't our old friend Bluestone the Great, an ex-magician that's wanted in 6 states.
But what is he doing on Haunted Isle?
You must have heard the legend of the Vasquez treasure. Everybody's after it.
Mr. Creeps and his partner, Mr. Crawls.
They were trying to scare all the heirs off the island.
Then no one would spend the night, and they would keep control of the fortune.
First, Creeps pretended to be the Phantom and made it seem like the house was haunted.
The cousins were scared away fast. Then they put dummies that looked just like them in the coffins.
Ah, but that plan backfired.
So did painting themselves like green ghosts.
Well, where they're going, Creeps and Crawls could use a good lawyer.
Good work, Scooby!
Look, a police car.
The caretaker from the castle reported there was some trouble up here. Who is this on the ground? Why, it's Big Bob Oakley, alias the actor. He's a master at disguises and wanted in 7 states.
That explains a lot. He's been haunting the castle to scare people away.
He was after the Franken jewels, which are woven into that tapestry.
Yes, and I'd have gotten away with it, too. If it wasn't for these blasted kids and their dogs.
Then you kids deserve a big thanks.
Scooby did it!
They captured the Phantom!
Now to see who this Phantom really is.
Ace Decade? But why?
He was stealing records from his uncle's studio and selling them for his own personal profit.
Now to unmask this phony hide.
And if our calculations are right, it should be Helga, the housemaid. Dr. Jekyll!
So it really was Dr. Jekyll behind the ghost of high jewel robberies.
It sure was, Sheriff. When all his crazy experiments failed, Dr. Jekyll decided to turn to a life of crime.
Who?